All right, guys. So I'm doing my first vlogging YouTube video. Um, I'm not sure what to talk about. I have a few subjects in mind, but I'm think I'm just gonna go with the flow and see how it goes. I just woke up this morning and the first thing I saw, like the first thing I do when I wake up is pick up my phone. I thought about it when I woke up. I woke up, I went to the bathroom, and I went back to sleep, and I was like cuddling my phone, like it was my my precious. It was something dear to me, and I was thinking lately about how much you know trouble I am with with leaving my phone. I'm wasting so much time on my phone, like on bullshit, on reels, on Facebook, and YouTube and Instagram. Like actually, I prefer YouTube and Facebook since like the content on Instagram. I don't know, it's because of me, but it seems to be it's a bit too sexual. It's basically like being on Pornhub, and you know, I'm trying to get away from that stuff. You know, I'm trying to I'm trying to be clean. That's one of the topics. Sex. Um, but so I woke up and I I pressed like a notification, a Reddit notification for the semen retention subreddit, and I saw this guy. I forgot his name. He has a YouTube channel, but I forgot his name. And to be honest, I'm not gonna be bothered to look it up. But if you guys are on the subreddit, you might have picked it up. But this 50-year-old guy, like he was in his kitchen without a shirt. He was in good shape for 50 though. So I mean, I can imagine like he should flex. But so he was just talking about semen retention, and what he's learned through to his, I think it was like 26 years, something like that. 26 years, 30 years of 24 years of semen retention. And I was inspired by like what he was saying. He was saying a lot of things that I already knew, like the stuff that you read about, the basic stuff that you read about, once you're interested in that subject. But I think the important thing, like when you're trying to do something and when you're interested in something, is you know keep it in your mind, or like in your daily like task. Whatever you call it, you're supposed to keep it close. Like you need to be reminded on why you're doing what you're doing. I need that, and it's something that I hold dear, like semen retention. It might sound weird, but sometimes I forget why I do it, and it was just so like it was inspiring. It was inspiring just listening to him talk about it, and there's been a lot of things happening, in my life lately, as usually. But like this latest years, it's been very like transformative in a way, like inwards. I've been doing a lot of like, yoga and meditation and breath work, and training, and it's been like a grind year, and a lot of good things happen, but it's also been very, very rough. Like my life is always up and down. I'm going up. It's pretty obvious to me, but it's not like a straight line. It's like a snake. It's up and down. And these latest days, I've been, I haven't had any energy. I've been on a new carnivore diet, and I've seemed to run into a couple of bumps. Trying to be healthy on the carnivore diet because it's a very restrictive diet. I had a setback yesterday. I think I overdosed on fat, and I was feeling like shit. And like I heard a snippet of this Denzel Curry video, um, uh, like a couple of days ago, where he said that he was making money from his home. And that thing, that idea always fascinated me. Like getting, working from home, just being your own brand, and like being able to, survive off it. So I just got this idea today, that I was gonna start vlogging, see what comes, because I always have this, in my back of my mind that, okay, let's say this picks up, and I gain traction, and I can make it into a side hustle, or maybe it just gives me an idea for something else. I don't know, but you know, I've looked a lot on these young guys, these people making these commercials online. Do this and make so much. Work from home. Drop shipping, like trading, and like growing like luxury mushrooms. Um, you know, all kinds of work. Online. These young people's like showing off their luxury cars, and like people are always on vacation, and people are like making money off of YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, and uh, what's it called, OnlyFans. You know, uh, and I was like, I heard someone say that the hardest part was just getting started. So I was like, fuck it. I just woke up and I thought, I'm just gonna record myself talking, and see what happens. In the worst case scenario, like this feels good for me, because I've been feeling kind of lonely lately, and not really heard, and I'm hitting 30 soon, and there's not really anyone who has the time or energy to listen to me babble, just talk about random nonsense, and I can I get that, I get that because uh, well, actually, I'm not gonna say that is. I have a lot of good friends. But I don't wanna talk about anything that's not interesting to my friends. I don't wanna bother them. Anyways, I've been feeling pretty lonely lately. So in the worst case of scenario for this vlog, then I'm just gonna be talking to myself, and I do kind of enjoy my own company from time to time. I need to recharge, and it feels good to get my thoughts out into the open, to materialize what's going on inside of my head, and I think it's very beneficial in some kind of way. So it's a win-win situation. Okay, but yes, like semen retention. I think that's where I'm gonna start because it's been yeah, it's a big thing. Like it's something that I think about all day long. It's like with coworkers. I recently went back to an old work of mine. I work at a grocery store in Sweden, and like the first thing I told my boss when I worked is like, okay, so I've gone like 6 months without ejaculating, and I I know that it's something that people would be like, "What the fuck?" That's not something you say so openly, but I'm really trying to make it like public knowledge, even though it might be a bit, taboo and um, something, a private. Maybe it's a private matter or private subject, or maybe it's not something that's appropriate for like a work setting or a public setting. But it has changed my life. It's been ups and downs, but right now I have almost I stopped counting, but I have almost 9 months without ejaculating. I've had two wet dreams, and I've had a few occasions where like a few drops of semen dripped out on my cock. I just had to add that. But lately it's been rough because it's a what I noticed it's a process. Like the first days. Okay, so if I'm just gonna start from my experience on the first days, it took me a while to get like a streak going because I've been masturbating basically every day since I was 9 years old. Like when I was nine, I watched porn for the first time, and I started masturbating, and I I I ejaculated, but I peed. Like I didn't have any cum yet. I wasn't in puberty yet, but I just peed. But shit, like I was in love. So I've been addicted to porn and masturbation since then. And I never thought that it was any big issue. I've always I always had this in the back of my mind, that doctors and people say like, it's good to clean out your innards and your system and stuff like that. And even if you're like meeting up with a girl, it's good to masturbate before you're gonna, last longer. And I always had a lot of positive connotations with masturbating. But more lately I've been seeing more and more of no fap, and I think a couple of years ago I started seeing some posts on Reddit about no fap, and people were talking about it. And like a year ago I started seeing it even more, like videos trending about benefits from not doing it. And I'm all about benefits. If there's something to gain from doing something, and I want to gain whatever it is to gain, I'm gonna do it. And if it's something so like simple and close to me, I mean that's perfect for me as a lazy person. So me and my friend, we were kind of doing it together. Like we even had a bet, like, so we're gonna do 1 month without it. It's kind of how it started. I got like a lot of days. I failed. Most of the days I failed. A lot of the days, I got to 1 day, to 2 days, to 3 days. Sometimes, without thinking about it, because my mind was occupied with other things. Uh, but like at one point, I got to a week and 2 weeks, and that's why I started like feeling that it was something big, because I was feeling more energy. I had this overload of energy, like this beast like energy. Like it was hard to contain. I think like the first time, so I'm just gonna say like the first time I got to a month, because I had like a couple sessions with 2 weeks, but the first time I got to a month, I noticed, because I was addicted to the semen retention photo on Reddit, so I was totally into that hype, and kind of like lifestyle almost. But I did notice like crazy effects, and I know some people are saying that it's placebo, but maybe it's just how it works. Maybe I was just like materializing the things that I was believing that was gonna happen, you know. But they were real. They were real. Like I were like it was as real as anything. I was having crazy amounts of energy. Like my voice was getting deeper. My beard was growing faster. Even as you can see, I'm not a very hairy guy. Like it was growing faster than usually. Like and it is. But like the first month, I was uh, I was so horny. Like I was waking up like in the middle of the nights with boners. I was waking up every morning with boners. Like at work they probably should have locked me up because I was so horny all the time. Like I was just lusting for like all of my coworkers and all the girls. Like I was like a rabid dog. Like I should have been put down. But I had so much energy and like I had so much confidence and motivation, and I was very inspired. And I was doing. I felt like I was doing something like magical, like something secret, like something that was gonna solve all of my problems. And yeah, like I failed. Like I failed after a month. Like my friend, I think he made it to shout out to Carl. I think he made it to a month, and then I failed like a month after that because like the excitement, the pressure was too much. Um, but I got it right back into it, and I don't know if I got like a few sessions with a week. I think I got back to it like pretty fast. Um, and I'm not sure if I had any setbacks after that. I had like a period where I was doing a lot of practice because the latest year I've been doing a tantra course. I've been going to a yoga school and doing tantra, and I heard about. We started like learning about sexual and incontents or sexual contents. Yeah, and they were talking about like how if a man retains like retains his semen and learns to have non-ejaculatory sex, then it's a tool for higher purpose and higher learning and to evolve spiritually in a very powerful way. And I was addicted. Yeah, that's actually a big reason to why I started um not masturbating. That was like a big motivation for me. Uh, so I like I was told that after 1 month you could start practicing on your own with masturbating and not have it to have an orgasm and not ejaculate. So I played around with that for a while, and I failed. Like I wasted my life force and my precious juice at at work, and it was it was saddening, but it was important work. Uh, so uh, so where was I? So I was yeah. We also got like some exercises. Like we were supposed to do like dick push-ups. Dick push-ups. Like we are supposed to first just strengthen like flex our pelvic floor and flex our what's it called, the PC muscle, or like the penis muscle. The one that makes you if you want to stop peeing, that's the muscle you flex. And also that muscle you can do to like kind of bounce your dick. uh So I did some exercises with that, just like flexing my pelvic floor and like pushing my pelvic floor out, and uh, also doing like these dick push-ups with a towel on my dick. So I was doing that every day for a while, and I got somewhere. I got to like my first orgasm without uh, like dripping anything, without any leakage. I mean, I'm so proud, but I knew that it wasn't. I know that I've accomplished something, but I know that that wasn't what they meant. That wasn't what like the tantra people were talking about. Because like what I understood is that after 3 months you're supposed to be able to have sex, and like with tantric sex without ejaculating, is you're supposed to just be a beast. You can have as many orgasms as you want, and they're supposed to be stronger and stronger, like full body energy orgasms, which transcends you to another level. Like I've watched YouTube videos with people talking about everything being golden, and today I kind of I felt like I've gotten a lot closer. Um, but now I have almost 9 months, but I had like several months where I didn't do anything because I I didn't want to lose my semen. I didn't want to lose my precious life force, my juice. So I didn't do anything. No masturbation. While I was practicing this, I wasn't watching porn. For the most parts, in the beginning, I was watching it. I mean, I didn't quit with porn at day one, but I phased it out. But just I was using my mind, just forcing it out, kind of, but I had a quite a long period of time, a few months where I didn't do any of this practice, and a lot of things were going, pretty swell. Like I always had it in my back of my mind. It felt like I was saving money, like I was making passive income just by not masturbating, and I always had it like I've been having a lot of energy this latest year. I've been doing stuff. I've been doing some MMA. I've been out running. I've been working, and I mean living life. And I don't know how it is compared to a lot of people, but I've lived a like destructive life with a lot of bad habits, and addiction, different kinds of addictions. Um, So I was in a lot better place than what I've been in previously. So things were going good, but I did notice uh, a kind of long period of time where I had this flat line as they call it. So I'm just gonna try to like, because a lot of people, it differs from people to person. Everyone has their own unique experience, but it's easy when you think that something's gonna happen, then it's, I guess, more likely that it's gonna happen within that timetable. But a lot of people were talking about the first 3 months of semen retention being like, it was just going straight up. Everything was going better and better. But for me, maybe a few months into it, maybe it was like 3 or 4 or 2.5 or something like that. But around that time, I was hitting a bit of a flat line. I think I was getting used to it. Maybe it was like 4 months. I think it took me a little longer actually. I think I had it good for a while. But I kind of got used to it, and I don't know. But I was in this state of, I was thinking that I was like above and like enlightened, and then I've accomplished something, but I was just a normal dude, like who hadn't. I am just a normal guy who hadn't, who hadn't, who hasn't masturbated or anything. You know, normal guy, just like I don't know, gassing myself up. Like I was just doing regular shit, like the people who didn't masturbate do. I mean, there was no discernible difference between me and me if I didn't masturbate. What I would think, you know, that's what I thought. I thought that I felt, you know, normal and stuff like that. But let me just say this: I've had in the beginning, you know, I've had what made it obvious to me that this does have an effect is like after I ejaculated after having a couple of weeks or a month, is that I felt really bad. I felt really bad, you know. I got like depressed and depleted, and you know lost. Felt like I lost of energy, and I still feel that like today, just a few days ago, I practiced. You know, I masturbated. Like I'm reading this Taoist book now, Secrets of Mantak Chao's Secrets of Love, and so I've been doing this kind of practice to to have an orgasm without ejaculating, picking it up again, and you know just losing a few drops of semen. It was making me feel bad, you know, and in a way, you know, it could be just the way everything is set up for me, like with the things I believe in and stuff like that. But if you know if it's real, then if it feels real to me, then it's real. If I can feel an effect, like just like I drink a cup of coffee and I feel energized, and just like uh, taking a shot of alcohol and you know feeling tipsy, you know, when I ejaculated, I felt depleted, and you know I would say that I'm more aware of that, you know, that vibe and that feeling. I felt like I've been a lot more sensitive lately about how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking, and like the energies in me and around me. Um, okay, but yeah, these like this kind of turned to be a long video. This is just supposed to be my 2 cents. But let's just call this part one, and I will continue this babbling on tomorrow, I think. Yeah, peace out. Have a great day, and I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye bye.